QBRs are a waste of time. There, said it. And I know it winds a lot of people up, but more often than not, it's true. Yeah, they're glorified service reports. They're full of activity summaries, status updates that customers barely care about. Yeah, they paid you to do this. They expect you to have achieved it. And now you're telling them, expecting some kind of attaboy and how well you've done. What they would really care about is what value they got, what have you helped them achieve, and where can you help them go next? That's where a quarterly value review comes in. So in this episode, we'll break down how to transform boring QBRs into powerful strategic QVRs that reinforce your value, strengthen relationships, and uncover new opportunities. Welcome to Sales Today, a podcast for B2B sales professionals who want to sell smarter, build stronger partnerships, and deliver value every step of the way. I'm Fred Copestake, sales trainer, consultant, and author of Selling Through Partnering Skills, Hybrid Selling, and Ethical Selling. Every episode gives you practical tools you can apply right now to build trust, deliver results, and sell the right way. I firmly believe the days of activity-based QBRs are over. If you want to be seen as a true partner, and not just as a supplier, you need to focus on outcomes, insights, next steps. In this episode, we'll cover why QVRs beat QBRs, the 5-part structure for a high-impact review, and how to run reviews that drive renewals, upsells, and long-term success in relationships. So let's kick off thinking about why quarterly value reviews actually matter. Well, best account managers, best salespeople don't just report activity. They continue to provide value. So a well-run quarterly value review reinforces the business outcomes, strengthens the trust in the partnership, uncovers growth opportunities, reduces churn, and continues to position you as a trusted advisor. If the customer's leaving that meeting saying, yes, this is working for us, then it's done its job. So to do that, we need to have the right framework. And I'm going to take you through a 5-part quarterly value review framework that actually works. So here's the structure. So first up, it's a review of the achievements. What have we actually delivered? So here we bring data, not tasks. So things like the cost savings, efficiency gains, risk reductions, stuff they actually care about. They don't really mind what we've done, it's what they've got. Over the past quarter, your IT team automated 60% of manual processes, cutting instant response time by 35%. That's a far more interesting headline than "we did a bunch of stuff." However accurately you describe that stuff, their results are going to be more important to them. That's the kickoff. So we can move into the second part, which is talking about the current challenges and opportunities. The title of this might be "What's Changing?" So what we delivered, what's changing? So here we're asking ourselves, what's shifted since we last met? What new priorities have emerged? Where else can we be adding value? That's our preparation. We could actually use those questions, but it makes sense to go in having considered those and be able to run the dialogue around them. So the third part is all about the performance metrics and the return on investment. So we might call this the what's the business impact? And here we use the hard data. You've reduced downtime by 40%. This has saved you £500,000 this quarter. Your revenue's improved by 15% due to faster throughput in your manufacturing process. It's a smart idea to present these as before and after comparisons using simple visuals, simple visual aids. There's always time for PowerPoint if it is helping people to understand stuff. Or draw it live, equally as impressive, arguably more impressive. So this can move us into the next part. So part four is about industry insights and best practices. So the title of this might be, what can we learn? Yeah, so here it's about sharing valuable information. So it could be industry benchmarks, relevant trends, client success stories. This is stuff that is valuable to customers. On one of the interview podcasts a little while ago, I interviewed a CFO, and he said to me, "I love salespeople." And that kind of shocked me a little bit. And he said, "No, it's brilliant because they will tell me stuff that's going on with other people in my business." So he says, "I speak to some, but not all of them. But salespeople speaking to far more than me, and they can share things. So I know my own pain, but you can tell me about the other things that are going on." People value this stuff. So those insights, those things that we've developed, let's share those. Customers like it. And it sets us up to go into the fifth part, which is the action plan and the next steps. What do we do next? So we always got to leave with a plan. So this could be about defining new goals. It could be setting clear timelines. We might be assigning new ownership to certain activities, to certain initiatives. And this is going to help us keep moving the relationship forward. That's what we're trying to do here. So, those five steps, those sort of kind of five headings, if you like. What have we delivered? What's changing? What's the business impact? What can we learn? What can we do next? That works. It'll be way more interesting for your customers. One that arguably you can take your senior people into, and it's going to attract their senior people too. Another way of driving the relationship. So, other things we can do to keep those QVRs driving growth, because ultimately that's why we're doing it. Yeah, when we sell outcomes, we sell a promise, we sell results, so we've got to make sure we're actually delivering on that. But we're also looking to grow. So, some hints and tips around that, if you like. First up, prepare thoroughly. Don't try and wing this stuff. We need to have the information at hand. We need to think about the stuff that we're going to say. So this is about gathering the data that might be useful that we're going to need to share. It's knowing where we've delivered value, having those stories, having that proof ready, and having that insight to share. That interesting information, that perspective, that thing we're going to shine a light on, which they're going to sit up and think, that's useful. Thank you. And then we lead with outcomes. So I spoke about outcomes in a previous podcast. Have a listen to that. Yeah, but we're leading with outcomes, not activities. Customers care about business impact. They don't care about the things that you've done. So think about that. We're focusing in on those outcomes. And then when we're asking questions, we use future focused questions. What challenges are you anticipating in next quarter? Where else do we think we should be looking to add more value? What things in the future can we be working on together? Future focused stuff. And this is all about the next idea, which is positioning yourself as a partner. Show that you're helping them to stay ahead. You're not just delivering a service, you're not just doing what you're paid, what you're contracted to do. You've got their best interests at heart and you want to move them forward, help them to get there. And then we want to always end with an action. Always end with an action. Yeah. Without clear steps, the QVR is basically just another nice little conversation. Yeah, we're doing this for a reason. We're investing the time and effort, the effort in the prep, bringing the right people in to take us somewhere else. In many ways, a great QVR is going to remind the customer why they made a great decision. Yeah, and why they should keep making it with you. And that's what we're trying to do. So here's your reflection point. Do your current customer reviews feel like strategic business conversations, or are they just like progress updates? If it's the latter, if it's just progress updates, you're leaving value and most likely revenue on the table. So it's time to have a think about that. So again, all about keeping this brief. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. So today we've covered Why stale QBRs need to be replaced with outcome-focused QVRs. Quarterly business reviews out, quarterly value reviews in. With a 5-part framework for high-impact reviews. And then how to use the QVRs to strengthen relationships, drive renewals, and to uncover areas of potential growth. So now the action step. If you're listening to this series of shorter podcasts, you'll know that we're finishing with an action step so you can take stuff away and you can take benefit from it. If you've been following the whole lot, we're on about number 13, 14, 15 maybe, of these shorter style. You've got a whole kind of mini training course actually. But yeah, this particular one, what are you going to do? Right, first up, build your data story. Get that information, work out what it means, and then how you can use it. From that, extrapolate insights for their business. So there's interesting nuggets of information, stuff that's going to make them think, help them sit up, and consider ways in which they might be able to do stuff better. And then create a clear action plan on what you think should be happening next. So then you can run that meeting using the QVR framework we talked about and just watch how that affects your customer engagement levels. There will be a difference. So if you're finding value in these episodes, subscribe, share them with your team, connect with me on LinkedIn, tell me what you're taking away from them. I'm Fred Copestake, and this is Sales Today. Until next time, review with purpose, partner for growth, and keep selling the right way.